Not only are they showing you they're a fan by buying a ticket, yeah, I think the biggest thing that resonated for me, I can't remember what, I think it was maybe like the Emmys or something, and Michaela Cole won, and she said like, you know, don't confuse visibility with success. And I think it's so, it's just like, it can't be put better than that. And it's not an easy place to get to because it's a world where like we all just want to be loved, and then inside that, like, music is an industry where everyone just really wants to be loved. Yeah, and everyone's just kind of like, you know, gagging for it and that kind of positive like reinforcement. Yeah, and I think what is so exciting and like dangerous about it is that you put so much love into an industry that's so fickle, and that like it loves you back when you're doing well, and like if you're not, you're just out.
The key to success, Harry Styles' motivational speech. I'll give you two of my favorite memories. The first was when we just formed as a band. A picture of us had been taken from when we were at the show, like someone's mom had taken it. It was like the first picture of us as the five of us, and we stayed at my stepdad's house. We were like living in this little bungalow, all of us together to like practice, and we were just like singing songs. You take 5 kids who have never been in music industry and put them in a band together, and suddenly they're having too much fun. It's really difficult not to have the best time of your life doing this new thing. You know, I'd had a paper round. I'd worked in a bakery. You're the cashier. I was the cashier. Can you still make a quick change? I think it's not funny. I mean, it sounds like so much more than that. I feel very lucky that I still get to do this as my job and stuff. So yeah, I think it's ultimately I get to make music with my friends and make music that I love, and I'm proud of it. And it's pretty hard to feel that I could ask for much more than that, really. And you talk about your love of making music, of course, with the ones. The most important thing I learned is that I like who I am. I think we're all just trying to be better people all the time, and I very much consider myself to be trying to do that as well.
We were like living in this little bungalow, all of us together, to like practice, and we were just like singing songs, and basically just had a sleepover for like 4 days, and everyone drove down, and there's a tiny little like newsagents down the street, and we'd heard this picture was being put in the paper, so we were like, oh, we're gonna be in the paper, like that's crazy. In a way that is strangely easier than calling them and being like, just so you know, I want to tell you this or something, is like, it's also kind of a nice reminder that like sometimes the thing that's more important to say is to someone else. Okay, I could spend this day when I'm feeling this thing and thinking about this thing. I can try and write another song that's like fun about like how I've like fancy someone and I think they're really great. Or I can be like, no, I'm thinking about this thing. I didn't really have a plan for like when I wanted to make a record. I knew I wanted to start writing at some point, and that's kind of why I came out here, and I started with Kid Up Home. The best way I've ever heard songwriting described is like, it's kind of like surfing in that the delay in it almost, like I couldn't really, in a lot of ways, like go out and promote the album. It was somehow more powerful for me because I kind of just got to like watch it do its thing. Everyone has more of their own experiences with the music and stuff, and what it means to them is like allowed to develop more and all of that kind of stuff. But I think also for me, by the time we went out touring, I'd finished this album. You can practice getting up on the board as much as you want, and sometimes the wave just doesn't come. Or the wave comes, but you haven't practiced getting up on the board enough. Every now and again, you've practiced enough, and the wave comes, and that's when you write the song. I think, you know, I feel like I had some time to focus on what exactly that meant and, you know, kind of get to know who I was outside of music and stuff. So yeah, I'd say like just a lot of time getting to know myself, which kind of was obviously happening like very much during the making of this album. So it was an experience. Yeah, I'd say that, and then the other one, I guess, once the band had really started, was we were in Sweden recording What Makes You Beautiful in the studio. Someone came up into the room and was like, there's 2 girls outside. And we were like, why? And they're like looking for you. And we were all just like, but we're in Sweden.